Welcome back to After the Whistle. I'm Andrew Destin.
And I'm Kelly Warner.
We've got highlights from District 6 matchups, 3 of them taking place right here in Center County.
We'll start close by for a highly anticipated bout between State College Area High School and Downingtown East. The Cougars had to drive 3 hours to square off against the Little Lions. Jordan Mansberger was on site for this battle of teams that started 1-0.
Hula skirts and flower necklaces were back in the stands at Memorial Field Friday night for the Little Lions home opener against the Downingtown East Cougars. Downingtown started off the scoring with a QB sneak into the end zone by Jamie Jenkins. Jashawn Green makes a wish and ties it up at 7 with 11:11 remaining in the second quarter. Later in the second quarter, the Cougs started to take control. George Boosum hauls in a touchdown to make it 14-7. Later, Michael Giardino stretches his right arm out for the pylon to make it a 21-7 game. Then quarterback Jamie Jenkins punched in his 4th touchdown of the half from 8 yards out, giving the Cougs a 28-14 lead at half. Giardino kept them rolling after the half as he connected with Jenkins for the deep strike for the touchdown. The Little Lions weren't done yet, though, as junior quarterback Jack Morris cuts around the right side of the line to cut the lead down to 14. But that would be all for the State College offense, as Bo Horvath made it a 42-21 game, and the Cougar defense took control up until the end.
Behind me is the first full-capacity crowd here at Memorial Field in over a year due to the pandemic. The Little Lions fought hard to the end, but ultimately fell to Downingtown East.
Obviously, we had some injuries that kind of plagued us. We had a great game going on, and they brought a lot of pressure, so we had to find some one-on-one matchups. We did for a good time, and then we had some injuries that kind of put a damper on that.
The Little Lions will try to get back in the win column next week as they travel to Hollidaysburg. Reporting from State College, I'm Jordan Mansberger.
Thanks, Jordan. Next week, State College travels to Hollidaysburg, while Downingtown East returns home to host Delaware Valley.
Next, we head just north to Bellefonte, where the Raiders welcomed the Phillipsburg Osceola Mounties. Bellefonte Area High School followed suit with a Hawaiian-themed opener of its own. The Phillipsburg Osceola Mounties traveled east to take on their rival Bellefonte Raiders in a District 6 battle. In the first quarter on 3rd and 3, Ben Gutsky finds Matt Martin from 16 yards out to put the Mounties up 6-0. Later in the half, Gutsky is strip-sacked and Nolan Weaver takes it to the house for a 9-yard scoop and score. Moving into the fourth quarter, Bellefonte QB Nick Way scrambles on 2nd and goal to find pay dirt. Way also punched in the 2-point conversion on an end-around run, giving the Raiders a 15-6 lead. Gutsky was careless with the ball again as he was picked off by Weaver, who got another defensive touchdown for the Raiders. The ensuing PAT put Bellefonte up for good at 22-6 as the Raiders won their rivalry game. If you were to pick an MVP from the game, it was Weaver, who said the team's ability to come together and execute the fundamentals led to the victory.
I felt really focused tonight. I try to urge you guys always come here focused, and I think after those first couple of drives, we really stepped it up.
Next week, the Mounties will host Huntington, while Bellefonte stays at home against Tyrone.
In our last local matchup of the night, Penns Valley hosted Huntington in a tussle of teams seeking their first win of the season. You didn't think we were done with the beach vibes yet, did you? Penns Valley Area High School was having a ball when it hosted Huntington. The first half featured a strong performance by the home team as it jumped out to a 21-0 lead by the end of the first quarter. The Bearcats did show some signs of life as the game continued, including plays like this 30-yard pass from Ashton Steele and a great catch by Tyler Long. But the visitors failed to score and couldn't hold off the Rams as QB Jared Stover punched it in on his own, extending Penns Valley's lead to 27-0 to end the half. The Rams continued their reign of terror into the second half, especially with such charges as Tanner Ilgan's 16-yard plunge. Huntington finally got on the board with this late third quarter tutty by fullback Lincoln Miller. The Rams' run game didn't let up, though, even with their decisive lead. A 20-yard dash by number 20 himself, John Meyer, set up the final touchdown for the Rams to cap off their dominating 40-7 win. Next week, Penns Valley will journey to Clearfield for a matchup with the Bison.
Let's take a look at the rest of tonight's District 6 scoreboard. Bellwood Antis stayed undefeated with a 35-7 win at Moshannon Valley. Juniata Valley, whose team consolidated with Williamsburg's prior to the season, also stayed perfect with a 32-13 victory at Tyrone. Hollidaysburg got off the snide, shutting out Mifflin County 28-zip. Bald Eagle area was also held scoreless as Clearfield won by 21. The offense was firing on all cylinders for Central in a 46-15 triumph over Forest Hills. Bishop McCourt, whose football team also consolidated with Bishop Carroll, won in a shootout at home, beating Greater Johnstown 49-33. A couple of other District 6 matchups are still on the horizon as Richland travels across town for a rivalry game against Westmont Hilltop, starting at 1 o'clock Saturday. Meanwhile, Penn Cambria will spar with Bishop Guilfoyle for a Saturday night contest kicking off at 7 p.m.
Penn State football kicks off its season noon Eastern time against Wisconsin on Saturday when the Nittany Lions travel to Madison. Derek Hyde sat in on Wednesday's practice to see just how the blue and white is preparing to play in front of fans for the first time in nearly 2 years.
Penn State football is gearing up to open its season at Wisconsin tomorrow. It'll be the second straight year the Nittany Lions open the season on the road and against a Big Ten opponent. Tomorrow's matchup against number 12 Wisconsin kicks off from Madison at 12 o'clock Eastern Time. For the first time in over a year, the blue and white will be competing in front of fans when it takes the field at Camp Randall Stadium in anticipation of playing with more than 80,000 fans in attendance. Head coach James Franklin believes his team is well prepared.
I'm a big believer in the crowd noise, so we do music on one side and do the crowd noise on the opposite to try to prepare for that, try to make it louder than it will be on game day. We expect it to be a really good environment.
Quarterback Sean Clifford is in his third year as Penn State's starter, but he's never faced the Badgers. The redshirt senior and captain recognize the tough order he and his teammates have this weekend against one of the Big Ten West's best.
They're obviously going to be a tall task, but at the same time, we've worked, countless hours, spring, summer, and now fall to get to this moment. So we're excited and we're confident to go up to Madison.
In 2020, Wisconsin featured a top 5 overall defense and went 4-3, highlighted by a win in the Duke's Mayo Bowl over Wake Forest. The last time these two teams met was in 2018, when the Nittany Lions topped the Badgers 22-10 at Beaver Stadium. Running backs Miles Sanders and Jonathan Taylor, who now start for the Philadelphia Eagles and Indianapolis Colts respectively, each eclipsed 150 yards rushing and scored a touchdown in a windy State College Saturday 3 years ago. You can catch coverage of tomorrow's game on Penn State Com Radio. Reporting for After the Whistle, I'm Derek Hyde.
Thanks, Derek. Penn State's home opener versus Ball State is set for September 11th and slated for a 3:30 start. That's all we have for you tonight. I'm Kelly Warner.
And I'm Andrew Destin. We'll be back next week with more District 6 high school football coverage right here after the whistle.
We hope you enjoyed watching the video. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you did.
For the rest of our newscasts and featured stories, click here.
And for sports, click here. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.